I stay grateful and I try to stay humble, and I think that I pay attention to what is important and what is real.
She was toxic to be around. She wouldn't look at you in the eye. She was very dismissive.
Speaking about claims of a toxic work environment.
I've tried to use my platform to raise awareness. I like to think that I'm doing my best.
Why do you even have time to write that email?
I don't know if I'm going to do this. Yeah, you will. This is the one thing that I have. It's like the one shred of dignity that I have.
I'm just so sorry. This has gone on way, 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 way too long. People have gotten away with murder. And that's what's happening.
Ellen DeGeneres was the golden child of daytime TV, America's go-to feel-good personality. She two-stepped into our living rooms, armed with dad jokes and a grin that could power a solar farm. She handed out cars with the nonchalance of a monopoly banker, made us feel warm and fuzzy. But today, man, it's a slow-motion train wreck. Let's see why it absolutely sucks to be Ellen right now. Let's rewind a little. Ellen's talk show, 19 seasons, hundreds of millions of viewers, celebrity cameos galore. This show wasn't just her job, it was her identity. And in May 2022, she walked away from it all.
I am announcing that next season, season 19, is going to be my last season.
Her blind followers say it was time. Others, well, they'll tell you she didn't have a choice. The toxic workplace allegations that hit in 2020 overshadowed the whole thing. And when I say hit, I'm talking full-on faceplant into rock bottom. We're talking bullying, racism, sexual harassment, the works.
As you may have heard, this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people who were affected.
These accusations weren't whispers. They were shouted from the rooftops, splashed across headlines, and dissected on social media like the juiciest Thanksgiving turkey. Now Ellen's brand was built on kindness. Be kind wasn't just her slogan, but her whole shtick. But when those allegations surfaced, the internet did what it does best. It pulled receipts. Former employees and guests came out of the woodwork to say, hey, maybe she's not as nice as she seems. And let's be real, the internet does not forgive hypocrisy. They roasted her so hard that she skipped medium rare and went straight to well done. Yeah. Another metaphor. I'm that excited. Smash the like button like Ellen smashing her brand. Now back to the story. And look, it's not just the public backlash that's been brutal. Imagine waking up one day and realizing your legacy, the thing you worked decades to build, has a giant question mark hanging over it. That's where Ellen is right now. She spent years building an empire, only for it to crumble in what felt like seconds. And it's not like she can just hit undo. The damage is done, and she knows it. Which sucks, big time. And then there's the career cliffhanger. Ellen wrapped up her show, and now she's like, what do I do with my life? I mean, can you picture Ellen starting a TikTok, maybe hosting a podcast? The problem is that every move she makes is under a magnifying glass. The internet's ready to pounce the second she puts a toe out of line, and honestly, I don't envy her. That kind of pressure would make anyone crack. Sucks to be her. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about the toll all this has taken on her mental health. Ellen has admitted that the backlash hit her hard. She's opened up about going to therapy for OCD and ADD, which, props to her for being transparent.
But I may have OCD because a therapist said so, and they say it could be hereditary. And so I went home and I asked Portia, I said, do you think I may have OCD? And she said, yes, you do. I asked her what I obsess about, and she said, you obsess about time.
But it also paints a picture of someone who's not just dealing with external drama. There's a whole internal storm happening too. She's navigating mental health struggles while the world watches and judges her every move. That's a lot for anyone to handle. And it's not just mental health. Ellen's dealing with some serious physical health issues too. Osteoporosis and arthritis. She's joked about feeling fragile, but behind the humor, you know it's no joke. These conditions can affect your day-to-day life in ways most of us don't even think about. So now, on top of everything else, she's grappling with the realities of aging in an industry that worships youth. Now that sucks. Oh, and let's not forget about her reputation. Ellen used to be untouchable. Now, every move she makes is met with side-eye and skepticism. It's like she can't win. Even if she did something amazing tomorrow, like saving a bus full of kittens, someone would find a way to twist it. Oh, she only did it for the cameras. That's the kind of scrutiny she's dealing with. But if you subscribe to my channel, you'll do something amazing too. And it won't just be for the cameras. Think about this for a second. Ellen's been in the spotlight for decades. She's used to calling the shots and controlling the narrative. But now, she has zero control over how people see her. The media, the fans, the trolls are all driving the bus, and she's just along for the ride. Ooh, that's gotta sting. But what's in her control is how she behaves after the allegations surfaced and destroyed her talk show career. But this is what she did. Ellen took to Netflix with her special For Your Approval, attempting to laugh off the controversy and reclaim some semblance of her narrative. She kicked off the special with biting humor, quipping, "I got kicked out of show business because I'm mean," directly addressing the toxic workplace allegations that blew up her career. Ellen compared the fallout to her earlier exile in the 1990s after coming out as gay, but added a new layer of self-deprecating humor about aging in Hollywood, labeling herself the triple crown of criticism: mean, old, and gay. She tried to turn the public's disdain into a punchline, though it felt more like a bandage over a deep wound.
For those of you keeping score, this is the second time I've been kicked out of show business. Kicked me out before because I told him I was gay. No gay people in show business. Can't be gay and be in show business.
Throughout the special, she doubled down on humor as a coping mechanism, joking about media outlets labeling her the most hated person in America, even lamenting that there wasn't a trophy for such a title. Even as Ellen leans into self-deprecating humor, it's hard to ignore the underlying truth of her struggles. Therapy may have helped her process the hate, but joking about being an immature boss doesn't erase the damage to her image. She's struggling with her brand, which was all about kindness, now faces claims of being toxic. Honestly, she thinks if she had ended her show by telling everyone to go fuck themselves, it might have felt more real. Using humor as a shield, Ellen reveals the cracks in her armor, from longing for simpler times to struggling to find relevance in a world that's moved on. Beneath the laughter, it's clear. This chapter of Ellen's life is anything but funny. Imagine waking up every day and knowing someone somewhere is probably writing an article about how much they don't like you. Fun, right? And the worst part? The hits just keep coming. Ellen's trying to move forward, but the internet is stuck in a loop. People drag her back to the toxic workplace scandal whenever she tries to do something new. She comes under pressure, and she pulls shit like the stand-up comedy special. It's like she can't escape it, or herself. The past is living rent-free in her timeline. And speaking of moving forward, there's a whole fight for relevance, too. Ellen dominated daytime TV for nearly 2 decades, but in 2024, being relevant means competing with TikTokers, YouTubers, and influencers who were probably born during her show's first season. Ellen built her career in a different era, and transitioning into this new digital world, that's like trying to teach your grandma how to use Snapchat. It's awkward, it's messy, and nobody's really buying it. But this isn't just about social media. Ellen's facing something much bigger: legacy anxiety. She's wondering how people are going to remember her. Will it be for her groundbreaking work as one of the first openly gay celebrities? Or will it be the toxic workplace scandal that overshadows everything else? That's a heavy thing to carry. Imagine working your whole life as a trailblazer, only to have your reputation dragged through the mud in the final act. And you know what? That legacy anxiety isn't just about her career, it's personal too. Ellen's relationships, both professional and personal, have taken a hit. People who used to ride hard for her aren't so sure anymore. Even fans who loved her for decades are conflicted. And when the people closest to you start questioning your character, ooh, that's gotta suck. Now let's talk about the pressure of rebranding. Ellen's in this weird in-between space where she's trying to rebuild her image, but she's also trying to stay true to herself. And honestly, that's a lose-lose situation. If she leans too hard into the "I'm a changed person" narrative, people will say it's fake. If she doesn't address it enough, people will say she's avoiding accountability. It's like walking a tightrope over a pit of angry alligators. And as if balancing on that tightrope wasn't enough, Ellen decided to pack her bags and move to England after Donald Trump got reelected in 2024, leaving behind the political mess in the US that she didn't like. She and Portia headed to the Cotswolds right when the election results came out, making a statement with their timing. Critics say this just shows her privilege since she can escape to the peaceful English countryside, while many Americans are stuck dealing with the policies she's against. Instead of coming off as a strong move, it feels more like she's running away, especially with her lingering PR issues. People have mixed feelings about it. Some think she's giving up, while others wonder if this celebrity exodus is real activism or just a PR stunt. This move makes it more challenging for Ellen to take control of her own story. And here's where it gets even messier. Ellen's trying to figure out what's next. The talk show was her anchor for so long that now, without it, she's drifting. Sure, she's got money. A lot of money. But let's be real. Money doesn't fix an identity crisis. What does she do now? Write a memoir? Start a new show? Fade into the background? Every option comes with risks. And the stakes? The stakes couldn't be higher. So, why does it suck to be Ellen DeGeneres right now? Because she's living in the shadow of her own success. She climbed to the top only to have the ground pulled out from under her. She's trying to move forward, but the weight of her past keeps dragging her back. And as much as she might want to reinvent herself, the world isn't exactly giving her a second chance. It's a rough spot to be in. And honestly, I wouldn't trade places with her for all the free cars in the world. Speaking of cars, watch this video about celebrities who own Tesla Cybertrucks. Or this one, to see why it sucks to be Whoopi Goldberg. So, what do you think? Can Ellen bounce back? Or is this the final chapter of her story? Let me know in the comments. If you don't like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell icon now for more celebrity deep dives, you suck too. See you next time.